All right, so our last question for the evening for the candidates is, how can our district best ensure students are prepared for success in school and life?
I think that's something that also has a million different answers because they're going a million different places. A focus on trades for the kids who that's their future, or college if that's their path, or just go straight into the workforce. So there's a lot of good things going on already with the Dwayne Andreas, thank you. The Ag Academy and the Leadership Institute. So there are a lot of good things that are preparing those students, and we could always do more. We need this workforce. We are raising our workforce, and we're raising the people who are going to take care of us when we get old as healthcare providers. So there's a lot of different ways to do that, and we're never going to reach 100% on that because we need to constantly be evolving into where we need people in the workforce and how to best get our students there and to support them while they are students of the district, making sure that they have what they need, that they're fed, that they're clothed, that they're housed, and that they're coming to school ready to learn.
So everything has to go back to academics and student learning. We need to be able to prepare our children for the future. And right now, for a lot of our children, we're not. And we have to turn that around. And again, it comes back to what can the board control? And that is supporting a superintendent, making sure that they have the tools to be successful, making sure that we support our staff, our teachers, our paraprofessionals. We need to build upon our successes, and we need to really focus on what our outcomes are going to be. Now, all of us have hit on everything that is wrong with the district. Okay, I could continue on a litany, a litany of everything that is wrong, but there are several things that we're doing right. And once we build on those, and once we say, we become focused on what we can build together, rather than all of those things that are wrong, then we build up our children to make sure that they are successful for life. And that's going to be not only going straight to the workforce after graduation, going into the trades, and then also going to college. And once we realize that we have the duty for holistic education, that we focus on the whole student and build them up, then we will succeed. And that needs to be our entire focus, is student learning and academics.
I too believe that reading, writing, and arithmetic is got to be stressed. We obviously need to raise the scores of our students. And I understand living in the real world, but there are ways in which our children can be taught, and there are age-appropriate subjects that can be broached with our students. But I do fall back on the idea that as parents, we want to protect our children from as much harshness in this world as we can. We want to protect our kids, not to make them naive about what is going on in the world and what the real world is about. But we want to make sure that we give our children the standards that we want them to live by, the ethics that we want them to live by, the beliefs that we want them to live by. And that is all part of the educational process.
So I'll just say it this way. When considering this question of how do we prepare students now and how we prepare them for the future, the Illinois State Board report card showed that for Decatur, 72% of 10th graders suffer from chronic absenteeism, meaning they miss 18 days of educational learning. When it came to 10th and 11th grade respectively, that number was 74 and 76%. That crossed racial lines on who was actually in the classroom. So the first thing that we have to do is get our kids back into the classroom because they're not there, and they're not there consistently enough to learn anything. The other thing that we have to look at is that as we send these kids out into the workforce, they're not ready to go to Caterpillar. They can't fill out applications. Some of them can barely sign their signatures. They don't have the soft skills or the other things that are needed for them to be successful in a job. So we have to do a better job of making sure that we have more preparatory programs that aren't just for the creme de la creme or higher echelon of students, but that these programs can actually cross those lines and work with all students and give them the opportunity to be a part of these opportunities. The other thing that we have to do is we have to make sure that we have more than 17% of our students that are ready for college. Because if 17% are ready for college, that means that 12% are probably gonna come back home. So, and when they come back home, we still need to have some jobs and opportunities that are available for them. The one thing I credit our mayor on is that our business community here is strong, and they will open up their doors to give the students in this district opportunities. So we need to build up on that relationship, and as a board, we really have to make sure that we foster and keep those relationships. Thank you.
Like I said earlier, I feel one way to make the kids prepared for the world is to have home economics or wood shop or auto shop, or even have a class of finance or job skills. Have a semester where they do nothing but learn how to apply for a job, how to write a resume, you know. And I think that will prepare them for if they don't go to college, you know, because not everybody goes to college. But I think if we can do some things like that, where they can be more prepared before they graduate, they'll be more apt to want to go out and pursue a job that they might not have thought they could have gotten had they not had these resources while in high school.
Everything kind of goes in circles. You know, 20 years ago, we told everybody you had to go to college. You had to go to college to be successful. And what we found is that as we've made that circle, that's really not true. Everybody doesn't need to go to college. District 61 young people are the absolute future of our workforce in Decatur. And as the City of Decatur Economic Development Corporation, responsible for growing the business community in Decatur, Illinois, if those companies don't have trained, educated individuals to fill those jobs, they aren't coming to Decatur, Illinois. So the mayor, economic development again, can do a great job, but we have to have a workforce that can enter those businesses and make those businesses successful in Decatur, Illinois. And we get back to writing, basic math, reading. Reading is the basis of all. If you can't read by 4th grade, your chances of success in any other subject are greatly, greatly diminished. So I think we really have to get focused on that. But District 61 students are the absolute future of our workforce, and we have to treat it as such.